Tonight, a story you'll see only here on 6. Our first look at the man investigators believe may have pulled off a high-stakes heist in Saratoga. Now, that very same crook is suspected of swiping nearly $1 million worth of trophies from other museums and country clubs in New York and New Jersey. Police say the thief first burglarized a country club in central Jersey in May of 2012. A week later, he struck again at the U.S. Golf Association Museum that is also in New Jersey. Last December, the burglar smashed his way into the Harness Racing Museum and Hall of Fame in Goshen. And of course, in September, he made it in and out of the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame in Saratoga Springs in less than 3 minutes. Now, our producer, Jim Gazzali, drove to New Jersey to get the surveillance video you'll only see on 6. And Craig Smith joins us live outside the museum in Saratoga Springs with more on all of this. Craig?
Greg, we don't yet know how close investigators may be to catching this thief, but they do tell us they believe it is one person. The director of the museum tells me he does believe there is hope that those trophies are still out there somewhere. Here's the thief who hit the U.S. Golf Association Museum in New Jersey in May of last year. He works quickly, just as the thief did in 3 other places that displayed trophies and memorabilia. The motive? Former FBI agent Robert Whitman was the founder of the FBI Art Crime Team.
From what I've seen in 25 years of these investigations, it's always profit. It's always the illicit profit. They're good thieves, but they're terrible businessmen in many respects because, they could come up with a good idea on how to steal the fine art or the trophies or whatever they're going to take, yet they don't think about what they're going to do with them.
Whitman says if they try to find a buyer, it's likely they won't find one immediately.
That's when, authorities should be doing a lot of legwork to see if they can identify the person or at least check out the modus operandi, how it was done, to be able to, link it up with other thefts.
That's exactly what Saratoga Springs police told us they were doing right after someone stole hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of trophies from the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame on September 12th. Assistant Police Chief John Catone has been leading the investigation.
A lot of similarities from the equipment that was used to break in to the method of entry. They were in there less than 3 minutes, so this was obviously somebody that had spent some time in these facilities.
Last December, someone stole valuables from the Harness Racing Museum and Hall of Fame in Goshen. The director there believes $360,000 worth must have been melted down by now.
It was surreal for me to walk into the museum that morning. It was unbelievable. It was like, how could somebody do this and invade this special space?
In the Saratoga Springs case, the thief tried to avoid detection but tripped an alarm. The Hall's director says he is improving security, but the former investigator, Whitman, says that's no guarantee.
If someone really wants to make a burglary, really wants to get in and is willing to break their way in, and they can get in quickly and out faster than the police can arrive, then, there's not much you can do.
Janet Terhune told me that after New Jersey investigators called her to say that they thought their case was connected to her case, she, in January, called here to Saratoga Springs to talk to Chris Dragone to let him know he might want to keep his eyes open. Dragone told me on the phone today it's been 2 months since he was hit. He says they're still a little shocked that it happened to them. And another interesting story I heard today came from Assistant Chief Catone. He said about a week after the Saratoga Springs case, a dealer from Connecticut called investigators. They'd heard about this, and they said, hey, we just were in contact with someone who says he wants to sell some trophies. Well, Catone says arrangements were made, but he says the person who claimed to have the trophies for sale never showed in Connecticut. We're live in Saratoga Springs. Craig Smith, CBS 6 News.